The unending green tide of the orcs, who can overwhelm entire star systems with their sheer numbers, have run into the undying legions of the Necrons. Welcome everyone as Papa Bear presents the Orcs versus the Necrons. We have an incredible matchup against these two ancient races as Brian's Orcs in the new Tactical Brigade detachment square up against Papa Bear's Necrons in the new Starshatter detachment.
So I've got the Orcs with the Tactical Brigade grotmas detachment, which lets me give orders out like I'm Imperial Guardsman.
So this detachment's got some good rules. The vehicles and mounted units have assault weapons, and you add a +1 hit on enemy targets that are on an objective. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully I can pilot this thing and do it some justice.
The Flash Gits with the Big Mech and Mega Armor is just an absolute killer at shooting Overwatch threats. Nobody expects it, and can still melee in the end. So I'm hoping it puts out a lot of work.
The Silent King is really the big centerpiece here. I've got a spider and a reanimator to try to keep him alive. So with all that support, we'll see if it actually works out.
Heard the Necron are waking up from a long nap, and I just want some of their tech. They can keep the planet.
Undying Legions versus the Green Tide. Let's go.
Brian's Orc list consists of two 10-man squads of boys, one led by a war boss with a God Boomer and another with Mork's Cunning, a squad of Breaker Boys with a war boss, two Tank Buster squads with a Big Mech shock attack gun, and a squad of Looters with a Big Mech shock attack gun, Flash Gits accompanied by a Big Mech in Mega Armor with a Mech Captain enhancement, and those Gits have full rerolls and are very scary. There are 3 units of Storm Boys to zip around the board, a Commando squad, 30 Gretchen, 3 trucks. Whew, that is a ton of bodies. Papa Bear's Necron list consists of a solo Emotech to sit on home objective and grant additional CP, Scorpec Lord and 6-man squad of Scorpec Destroyers, 2 6-man race with one led by a Technomancer with the Chrono Impedance Field Enhancement, Locust Lord leading a 6 Locust Destroyers with the miniaturized Nubloscope Enhancement, just 1 Canoptic Doomstalker, a Canoptic Reanimator, a Canoptic Spider, and the Silent King. Our mission today is Scorched Earth, where you score 5 EP for each objective you hold up to 10, and an additional 5 EP if you scorch that objective, which removes it from the battlefield. The mission rule is Inspired Leadership, where if the Warlord is within 9 inches invisible to a unit, they get a +1 to their Battle Shock test. The deployment is the Crucible of Battle. Make sure you check out our sponsors today, Dragonfall, the charitable gaming convention, and Goblin Games and Hobby, where you can find all your tabletop gaming needs. And when you use my code Goblin Express, all your shipping is free in the continental US. Links in the description below.
Welcome to the Necron Tomb world. We are all deployed. And now we're going to have the first turn roll to see who goes first.
Yeah, with how Scorched Earth works and all of my deep strikes, I really hope I go second this time. It's all you.
So it looks like Necrons will go first. We'll get everything moved up and we will return. The Necrons are on the move for Necrons turn 1. I pushed some things forward a little bit. My missions, my secondaries, are Bring It Down and Cull the Horde. So the only Bring It Down target I possibly have is this truck here. And the Doomstalker is going to try to take care of that for me. Everything else kind of moved up. Now I do have cover. I'm depending on that to try to keep me alive. The Wraiths here have the Feel No Pain, so we'll see how that goes. Silent King moved over a bit behind this cover here. The Scorpecs moved up because they've got Commandos right behind this wall. So everything moved up a little bit. We're going to be back after some shooting. I do have, like I said, I need to take out that truck. We'll see how that goes. Necrons did a bit of shooting. The Doomstalker took the truck all the way down to 1, so I was not able to Bring It Down. I did have a few shots from the Locusts into this truck here, and the truck took 4 damage. But that was it for my shooting. I am too far away to charge at anything and too far away to shoot at anything else. So that will be the Necron's turn. I won't get Bring It Down, and I won't get Cull the Horde because all the hordes are hiding behind their line. So that's it for Necrons. We'll be back with the Orcs turn 1. All right, so we are Orcs turn 1. So Brian, tell us what you did, what your missions are.
I drew Bring It Down and Recover Assets. So for Recover Assets, I've moved up a couple units. Some Storm Boys here, some Storm Boys over there. Truck, this truck, and my Grecian are all trying to recover assets. So chances are he's not going to kill enough of them to prevent that because it doesn't score until the end of his turn. For Bring It Down, I'm planning on having some tank busters over here shoot at this tall, scary boy. I forget his name.
The Doomstalker.
Which they have decent odds at it, but it's not guaranteed. That's the only Bring It Down I'm going for this turn. I've also moved some commandos up to charge at these guys.
Yep.
After I shoot the ever-living crap out of them with my Ludas. I've also positioned my flash gits to shoot at those destroyers in the middle. Wraiths in the middle, sorry. And a couple random rockets out of my boys' units are going to get launched downfield too, because it's orcs. Why not?
Yeah. So as you can see, both armies are pretty much down the line here, facing each other. And we're going to return after orcs actually do quite a bit of shooting and see what they can pick off from the Undying Legions of the Necrons. First up with orc shooting, believe it or not, we've got the Ludas that is going to put everything into these Skorpek destroyers. I did spend the CP to go to ground because I've got a ton of shots coming at me. So what we got?
This is going to be the Death Guns. It's 24 hitting on 5s because I gave him a +1 to hit order. Rerolling 1s. So 6, and these are strength 8 into toughness.
T6.
So I'm hitting on 3, or wounding on 3s.
Yep.
One of those comes out. So it's 5 saves at AP 1.
5, AP 1. I did go to ground. Is that, so that's why it's AP 1?
They're just AP 1 natural. So it goes to 0 with your cover.
All right, so 3 ups. And 3 go through on 3 up saves.
It is 2 damage apiece.
2 damage each. All right, that is 1 dead Skorpek destroyer.
And then my rockets, I've got 2 guys with rockets. They get D3 shots each, plus blast. How many models in the unit?
7, so you do get at least 1.
So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. So 4 of those go through. These are strength 9, so still wounding on 3s. Yep. It's not great. 2 of those are AP 2 base.
2 AP 2, so I need 4s here. And those both go through as well.
Those are 3 damage flat each.
All right, so 2 more.
And then I've got the big mech with shock attack gun who gets D6 +1 shots. I'm going to spend his once a game reroll to reroll that terrible roll. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Well, 2, it is also a blast weapon, so he gets 1 more.
Yep.
He's hitting on 4s with rerolling 1s, so 2 of those. And then he is strength 9.
Some 3s.
Oh, brutal.
Okay.
Yeah. You do need to make a battle shock test as well.
Okay, so battle shock. And I don't think a 6 makes it. Oh, I do make it. So, safe. So I am not battle shocked. I did lose 3 destroyers, and we'll be back after orc shooting. So we have the flash gits that's going to put everything into these wraiths here, and we will see what happens.
So they're snaz guns. They are 4 shots against the closest eligible target, which they are.
Yep.
They're going to be hitting on 4s with full rerolls. I'm popping their once a game lethals. So 6s are both sustain and lethal. This is just the first 20 of the shots. I've got 16 more in the leader to go.
15 AP1s puts me at my 4 up. Okay.
It's 2 damage each.
full Wraiths down from Flash gets shooting with an invulnerable and a feel no pain, so pretty good there. And then 3 Scorpeg Lords down from the Ludas shooting. All right. Anything else?
These guys are going to be shooting into this guy, if we want to do that now.
All right.
So go ahead.
We'll be back after the Rocket Boys?
Yeah, the Tank Busters are shooting into your... Forget the name again.
The Tank Busters into the Doomstalker. We'll see what happens with that. The aftermath of Orc shooting. My Doomstalker has fallen. He did not explode, so the truck did his job there. I lost 4 Wraiths, and there was a charge by the Commandos into my Scorpeg Destroyers. That is it for the shooting. So lost Wraiths, lost 4 Destroyers to Orc shooting, and was charged here. We're going to see what's going to happen with Orc fighting. Orcs shoot really good, and I was not expecting this amount of shooting coming out of the Orcs. We have returned after the Orcs have fought. They lost 8 commandos to the Scorpex Destroyers. So a little backfire here by the Orcs, but I am still tied up. I would have to retreat if I wanted to move, so we are stuck in here. But I did take out 8 Orcs there. That is it. No other charges were made. There's no other fighting to be done. We're going to score this all up, and we'll return for the Necrons response. For Necrons, turn 2. Necrons, turn 2. Necrons come marching in. I have Bring It Down. I kept Bring It Down from the first turn because I'm hoping to take out this truck who's only got 4 wounds left? 2 wounds left. So hoping to get that truck. Also, I have Assassination. Now, all the characters are in the back line, hidden by 20, 50 Orc bodies. So Assassination is going to be tough, but I did not want to pitch it because I have 2 CP right now, and I want to keep my 2 CP. So I'm going to keep Assassination, and maybe I get lucky. We'll see. As far as moving, everything literally moved up. I'm on objectives now, which gives Orcs some bonuses to hit me, but at some point you have to be on the objective. The Silent King moved over here to try to support this flank. Everything moved up in the middle here, and the race moved up here. Scorched Earth is the main objective, but I'm not going to attempt it because it scores at the end of the opponent's turn, and I don't see me holding it because I have to be in engagement range. So I don't see me holding it to get Scorched Earth. So I'm not going to try to attempt that. Just going to try to stand on these objectives and hold firm. And we're going to be back after some Necron shooting and see what I can take down from the Green Tide. So most of my guns shoot 24, so exposing them is a bit of a risk, but I've got to get close to try to whittle down these Orc bodies. So I just put them out there, and we just got to hope for the best. Necron shooting, I was able to take down one of the trucks here, so I will get some Bring It Down for that. The Triarch Stalker shot this other truck, but he made all his saves. Well, all 6s to make the saves, so no luck on that there. Now, the Locust Destroyers are going to put everything into the flash kits in the back. So the leader is equipped, the Locust Lord is equipped with the miniaturized Nubuloscope, if I'm saying that correctly. Now with that's an enhancement that gives the unit the ignores cover ability. So all the shots from the destroyers are going to ignore cover on the flash kits there. We've got 18 shots. Flash kits are stealth.
I'm just saying, if it goes poorly, it's going to be big mechs with Nubuloscopes next game.
Yeah. All right, so 18 shots. They're hitting on 4s because the gits are stealth. I don't get to reroll 1s because they are not the closest eligible target. But these are lethal hits on 5s because of the Locust Lord. Okay, toughness 5. They are strength 5, so also wounding on 4s. 9 at -2. No cover.
So it's just they've got 4 up invuln thanks to the custom force field on that big mech. So we're looking for 4s.
All right, so 4 gets down. Having the ability to ignore cover on -2 AP guns is really, really nice with this detachment. Silent King into
Lucas.
the Ludas. We're going to start with the Scepter of Eternal Glory. Now this is hitting on 2s. He can reroll 1s because he is the voice of the Triarch. And strength 6, so wounding on 3s.
Yep.
Rerolling 1s. Because voice of the Triarch. 8 at -1.
4, 8. So they are on 6s. So 3 force saves, so 4 die basically.
All right, Scepter of Eternal Glory. 2 attacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. Okay, and this will be wounding on 2s, but they also devastate. Okay, rerolling 1s, voice of the Triarch. All right, so 2 at -3.
Save 1. Or no, -3. I don't
Minus
save
3.
anything.
All right, so 2 more out. Okay, that is all of Necron's shooting. I don't have anything else. So I took out a handful of flash kits, handful of looters. We're going to come back and see if I can get some charges done. We have returned for glorious Necron charging and melee. The Wraiths have taken care of the Rocket Boys?
Storm Boys.
Storm Boys. Yep. Wraiths took care of the Storm Boys and came back to their objective. The Triarch Stalker rushed into the tank, did a few wounds, but that was about it. The Silent King wiped up the rest of the commandos, and that is it. Failed charge by the... oh, well, I should mention that I lost the rest of my race to Luda Overwatch. No, Flash
Kit Overwatch.
Flash Kit Overwatch. So I lost the rest of the race to the Overwatch, and which is why I was desperately trying to get rid of that unit, because they are a nightmare. So that's it for Necrons fighting. I will bring it down, no assassination. I knew that was going to be difficult. And we'll return to see how the Orks respond to the Necrons in their face. Orks, turn 2. So what moves did the Orks make?
So I have previously rapid ingressed some tank busters back here and some Storm Boys into his deployment because I have behind enemy lines. I also really like the Storm Boys because they are battle line in this detachment, which means they can score me a lot of points in unexpected ways. I can only score the small version, unfortunately. I also have no prisoners, so I'm trying to overwhelm these guys with a lot of units here. 2 of them are going to be charging, 1 of them is going to shoot the crap out of some stuff. The Flash Kit sat still, so they could try to kill something. I'm not quite sure what yet. Oh, the truck needs to fall back. Sorry, I forgot about that. We'll just scoot him a little.
Yep. So the Triarch's all exposed now?
Yep. These guys advanced up so that they could either charge him or the shooties in the back. Luda's moved up so that they could kill this poor guy by himself for no prisoners. The truck moved up just to be a nuisance, and my Gretchen have absolutely covered that entire objective over there. Oh, and I got some sneaky Storm Boys up here that are gonna go try to kill some support things and make the Silent King a little mad. I may not be able to handle the Silent King, but he's certainly not going to keep me off these objectives.
Lots of moving. The Orks have lots of shooting. We're going to see how much of the Necrons actually survive some of this when we come back from Ork shooting. Orks have shot. Orks have charged. We're about to fight. So Brian, tell us what happened here.
The Storm Boys in the back made their charge onto the Reanimator. These boys failed their initial charge with Snake Eyes, but luckily rolled it back into boxcars instead and easily made it. This guy just got surrounded by the boys that came out from behind the wall. The Breaker Boys are surrounding the last 3 wraiths over here, and that's all the charging.
That is all the charging. I lost a few of my destroyers in shooting, and I lost a few wraiths also in shooting. And nothing's going on over here. Everything looks about the same. The reanimator is in trouble here. He's totally surrounded. And we're going to do some fighting. Now, this is the Orcs' Wa turn. So they get a +1 to strength and they get an additional attack. So all of my Necron boys are in trouble. But we're going to be back after this fight phase and see what the aftermath is going to be. You wad this turn. I'm about to get hit with an Orc Storm. Let's see if I can survive this thing. We've come to the end of the Orcs fighting at their turn 2. I have lost my local destroyers, every single one. I have lost every single Wraith. The Reanimator is still alive. Hooray for that. And also the Triox Stalker is also still alive. Now, we're going to score this up here. We'll be back for Necron's turn 3, which will most likely be my final turn. We're going to see what Necrons can do.
For round 2, I took some mostly incidental losses to my flash kits and Ludas, but I was able to wog and put almost my entire army into melee, which everything basically just folded to tank busters with damage 3 rockets and breaker boys with damage 3 hammers, war bosses all over the place with AP 2 damage. His even high armor, high toughness just doesn't matter when you're +2 strength on the wog, basically.
Necron's turn 3. I pulled Containment and Defend Stronghold. So I do have these guys came in and they're going to be containing here, and then there's going to be another containing here. But as you can see, I am out of assets. I've got the Silent King left, my Reanimator's tied up, the Spider's not going to be able to do much on his own, and there's just a sea of orcs in front of me that I just was not able to deal with. There's orcs everywhere. I just wasn't able to deal with it. So with that, the Necrons will concede at the top of their turn 3. Very strong list, very strong detachment from the orcs, but that's why you play the game. So Brian, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And everybody, we'll see you next time. Keep playing.
Yeah, so overall, getting to go first, or not having to go first, was a big advantage. And just having enough bodies to sit on objectives that he was never going to shoot off completely. I could ignore the Silent King and take out the rest of his army and have control of most of the board. Otherwise, I just staged to not get shot off the table immediately, which was fairly successful.
The shooting from this detachment is crazy. Now they're hitting on 6s, 5s, but it doesn't matter if you can re-roll the hit roll or if you can re-roll 1s. So I was not expecting this amount of damage shooting to come out of orcs. Completely overplayed my hand, completely underestimated what this detachment can do. And as you can see, I paid the price, but that's why you play the game.
Sometimes, folks, you just take a good old-fashioned butt kicking, and that's exactly what this was. But hopefully I made the mistakes so you don't have to. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.